Hi guys, it's Archivist here, coming at you with a review for the PC version of Call of Duty Ghosts. When I tasked myself with reviewing this game, I was faced with something of a problem. As a long-term Call of Duty player myself, I couldn't help but feel a sense of deja vu, although to my surprise this did not turn out to be my only criticism of the game. First, I will begin with the story of Ghosts. Now, while the series has been known for fairly mediocre campaigns, Ghosts is truly a step back from Black Ops 2, I'm afraid. While it has its moments, such as the underwater mission, overall the story is not remotely compelling. All it does is give you a very vague reason to shoot the bad guys. Speaking of baddies, this time around, the countries of South America have inexplicably teamed up to take over the USA. The story is never properly explained, and the Federation never has its true motivations revealed. The game tries to implement a more human story by grouping you up with your brother, father and dog, but it really just turns out to be wasted potential. However, on the bright side, there are still many of the Michael Bay-esque moments that give the campaign a cinematic edge, although many of them feel ripped straight out of prior games. The gameplay in Ghosts is both a strength and a weakness. On the plus side, it is solid. You will never feel like the controls are anything but entirely in your hands. The shooting is precise, melee stabs are responsive, and there is an array of equipment that can be used to help you out in combat. However, as refined as the gameplay is, it is incredibly unoriginal. Many would argue, myself included, that the basic mechanics have not really changed at all since Modern Warfare 2. The two new features I discussed in my preview video turned out to be very disappointing. Destructible cover is no more developed than it was in the original Gears of War, and is nowhere near the quality of Battlefield 4. Oh, and the new sliding mechanic is not only essentially useless, but also incredibly awkward. It has been done so much better in other games such as Crysis 2. The gameplay on the whole won't disappoint you if you loved it in Black Ops 2, however if you're looking for something new, there isn't a great deal to be found here. I should probably mention that while I was reviewing the game, I used the gamepad, the Xbox 360 controller, as opposed to the keyboard. Now here is an area I really want to talk about. One of the main reasons I was looking forward to Ghosts were the alleged graphical improvements. As the game installed onto my computer, I waited with bated breath for what beauty would greet me. After all, the recommended specs were relatively high. However, all that there was to behold were average visuals that were hardly any better than previous entries in the series. Sure, the game has certain areas that do look genuinely nice, but others just appear bland and underdeveloped. Moreover, this game is very poorly optimised. I mean, Battlefield 4, a game that looks far better than this graphically, runs better than Ghosts. Even when I tweaked the settings to get 60 frames per second, I experienced constant stutters that became infuriating over time. I'm told Infinity Ward have a poor history of making PC ports, and I am afraid to say that really hasn't changed. Although let me be clear, Ghosts does not have bad graphics, they simply aren't as competitive as they should be in the current gaming market. For example, Battlefield 4 not only exhibits larger environments with better lighting, but also runs a lot better on my GTX 770. Even Crysis 2, a game that came out back in 2011, looks and runs better than this. For all the issues surrounding the story and graphics, the lasting appeal of Ghosts is clearly its greatest strength. The multiplayer COD fans know and love returns, with some pretty well designed maps to boot. Popular game modes such as Team Deathmatch return, as well as new ones like Cranked. However, in many of the matches I did experience some pretty nasty latency, which could lead to me being shot around corners sometimes. The customization system seems more similar to Modern Warfare 3 than Black Ops 2. The guns themselves feel fairly good, but they lack the visual flair of the futuristic weapons of Black Ops 2. In terms of kill streaks, things are fairly standard as well. You have the attack helicopter that has become a staple of the series, however there are some new ones here as well. One that I particularly enjoyed was the guard dog, which defends you from enemies that aren't in your immediate view. However, I think the fact it just appears out of thin air is pretty lazy and looks out of place. There are a lot of perks this time around which can be unlocked via squad points. Not only this, but you can customise your own soldier, and for the first time players can choose a female avatar. Also, there is Extinction mode, which is very similar to Zombies from the Treyarch games. You and your team have to defend a drill from a horde of aliens while it destroys a hive. There is some depth to it, such as assigning skill points, and I was pretty keen on the alien design. I have to say people, I was disappointed by Ghosts. If you've watched my previous videos, you will know that I am a fan of the series, however I cannot deny that this Call of Duty was something of a misstep. That said, the inclusion of the incredibly addicting and fun multiplayer cannot be ignored. This coupled with extinction and squad modes really do give the title an edge when it comes to longevity. In giving my final score, I have to be very careful. A part of me really wants to lay into this game for being an abysmal PC port, however it would be wrong to ignore the fun there is to be had in the core experience. Taking this into consideration, I give Call of Duty Ghosts for PC a 6.5 out of 10. As always people, thanks very much for watching and see you next time.